Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Sly here. I'm back for another video for Dragalia Lost. So pretty much today's topic is going to be all about our girl ELISANNE. So pretty much we're going to be talking about the two created characters that I came up with for her that would technically be, possible and, would actually fit because they exist in the game. But Cygames doesn't want to give me my last two ELISANNE ults that I want. Anyways. So we're going to be talking about two units that I came up with off the top of my head. Disclaimer, these are not confirmed. I am not a data miner. I don't know jack shit about doing any of that. These are just created ideas from literally off the top of my head based on a character that exists in the game and just has a different alt. So, without further ado, let's get started with the first one. So, this one is actually going to be almost recent. If they do it, please don't do it. I don't have any fucking summon materials. But this one is going to be Dragalia ELISANNE. So pretty much what she's going to be is going to be... I gave her Shadow Staff. Because the last time we got a brand new Shadow Staff was Grace. You want to know how long ago that was? Oh, trust me, I'll tell you right when I pull her up. Because I don't know off the top of my head. I promise you I'm professional. Last time we got Grace, April 6th of last year. She's well over a year and a half old. We are due for a new Shadow Staff. So, Dragalia ELISANNE, please be Shadow Staff. Anywho's, this is what I gave her for her skills. So, skill 1 is going to be her shareable one. It is called Joyful Cheers. Restores HP to all teammates with 150% recovery potency. Grants over damage to the entire team up to 40% of the user's strength. Grants all teammates a buff that restores their HP by 5% of damage inflicted for 30 seconds, and removes all afflictions from the entire team. So you're probably looking at this like, you pretty much just created Summer Verica. Sort of, yes, and the reason for that is because she would need to be able to compete for the slot of, Shadow Staff, because you have Grace and you have Summer Verica. So if you're going to create a new, unit that matches those types, they need to be very good. Now, you might be thinking, why did you only get 40%, not 50? 50% is only for Mana Spirals, so non-Mana Spirals get 40%. Plus, since Verica doesn't remove any afflictions, having the removes all afflictions from the entire team would actually have her rival that slot. Plus, it's another shared skill. Plus, this would be the only shared skill that removes all the afflictions from the entire team. So, you would want her. Let's move on to skill 2. Holiday Spirit. Increases each adventurer's max HP by 15% for the remainder of the quest. Gradually recovers their HP for 15 seconds with 20% recovery potency. And grants all teammates a 1-use shield that nullifies damage up to 30% of their maximum HP. This is important because this is another way for her to enable you to tank a lot more in, endgame content that requires it. So, Nihility, Legend, plus we're also getting Legend Dominions now, so it would work. Plus Nihility doesn't hit HP shields, so she would be immune from that. So, she doesn't grant any amps, but she doesn't, give over damage, lifesteal, and removes all of the afflictions, plus an HP shield and increases HP. She would be able to rival that slot of a Shadow Staff. Let's move on to the co-abilities. So, standard recovery potency for all the staffs. This one for the chain co-ability that I gave her is something that some people have been asking for. You get Dragon Gauge off a combo. So combo 20 equals Dragon Gauge. So pretty much you get your combo to 20%, you fill your Dragon Gauge by 10%. So units such as Zethia, Alberius, Dragon Mim. I hiccuped when I said that and it threw me off. So let's try this again. Galazethia, Alberius, Summer Mim, Belina. Who's another Dragon Ramper for Shadow? I want to say Summer Yuden, but he doesn't. But do you even use Summer Yuden much besides a bunch? Just those four off the top of my head. So And she would fit on their benches like pretty fucking well. So now let's just go over the normal abilities that she'll have in her kit. The first ability is called Holly Jolly Paladin. Builds 100% of skill gauges at the start of quests, and when HP is 70% or higher, increases skill haste by 10% and potency of recovery skills by 20%. Again, trying to make her really good so that she's able to contend for that Shadow Staff slot. And since she would be able to increase her skill haste by 10% just for existing, that means she'll be able to get her skills up a lot faster and, you know, give you your lifesteal, your over damage, your removing afflictions, and your HP shield. So she's looking pretty good. I gave her paralysis res because it's really fucking annoying to be paralyzed these days. And you would, because you know when you're paralyzed you get stunned and shit, so it's annoying. Blindness you're able to just deal with because you'll hit eventually. So plus she removes all the afflictions anyway, so it's just better for her to just not have it. However, you could argue blindness res so you don't miss anything and you're able to get your skills up faster. You could argue either one. I'm just really tired of being paralyzed, plus I'm pretty sure it's a little bit easier to negate blindness off of affinities. Let me just double check through worm prints really quickly. Affinity bonuses. Bat boon. Is this a skill damage? Question mark. Ah, no, okay, so there is a Dominion print for skill haste that has a bat boon, and then you have, let me check this one. Yeah, and then you have Destiny, what is it? Destiny's Hand, which is a 4-star recovery potency print. So you would be able to give her blindness res through that and still be able to, you know, maximize her kit. However, normally you'll probably just throw on Bosom, but you can give her a skill haste print that has the bow anyways, and you can have Bosom and that skill haste, so you can still max out her entire kit and still, you know, give her the full benefits that she would need. So that is my Dragon Yule ELISANNE. Let's move on to the second one because I do have two. This one is one that they should have done this year. I don't know why the fuck they didn't do it, but they didn't. Summer ELISANNE. She would be a water dagger. If I can speak. She would be a water dagger because by the time summer rolls around again, humanoid Mercury would be about a year old, so she would fit the bill. I was worried about making her water because Gala ELISANNE is a water axe and she's pretty much stapled to every water team these days. But I feel like she would be able to, you know, fit the bill of like being used. I wouldn't say over Gala ELISANNE, but you know, she would still have a fit. So skill 1, Paladin's Fury. This is shareable. Deals 5 hits of 421% water damage to enemies directly ahead. Dispels 1 buff from each of them and inflicts frostbite for 21 seconds and grants a strength amp. I can't read today. Damn. So that's her skill 1. Let's move on to skill 2, where she gets a little bit better. This one is called Rest and Relaxation. Creates a debuff zone that lasts for 10 seconds and reduces enemies frostbite resistance by 50%. 50, and grants the user a defense amp. So she is pretty much a frostbite bot that will make sure that you can frostbite your enemies. So it's pretty nice to have. Also, yes, I did kind of create this in mind because of Legend Twins, because I hate them. Anywho, let's move on. Co-abilities, critical rate. It's standard for axes. This next one for her chain co-ability was actually inspired by Summer Mitsuhide. For water, Flurry, Frostbitten, Punisher. So I'm pretty sure it's when combo is 20 or higher, you get Frostbite. Let me double check what Mitsuhide has, because this is based off of her just for Frostbite. Ah, here it is. If increases damage to Frostbite enemies by 35% when the combo count is 15 or higher. Mitsuhide is Scorch Rent, but I changed it to Frostbite. So pretty much, there you go. 35% damage to frostbitten enemies for all water units when combo is 15 or higher. And since most units these days don't suffer from that, that's pretty good to have. Abilities. Paladin on Vacation. Grants the user a unique Force Strike that has 2 charge levels. At level 2, it dispels 1 enemy buff. Increases to level 2 when combo is 25 or higher. Yeah, I just put that in parentheses so you know of how it increases. So she has 2 ways to dispel. I might take out dispel's 1 buff from enemy in skill 1 and just replace that, or just get rid of it entirely. But this one I actually do like because, you know, it's guaranteed dispel whenever needed. And, you know, it would go off pretty well. You know, make her have really good AI. Cool. Alright, so this next one, Burn Res, reduces susceptibility to burn by 100%. The reason I did this is because it's a lot easier to give stun res in her kit and still have her kit fully function. Because there is a skill damage plus 20% print that has the Wolf's Boon, and there's a Flurry Strength 5-star print that has Wolf's Boon as well, and both of those together will give you stun res. So, how to create a fully functional unit and still give them both reses. And then lastly, Flurry Frostbite Edge. Increases chances of inflicting frostbite 70% when the combo count is 15 or higher. This one was actually inspired by Delphi. So she is you could reduce it because she's not a Sparrow. You could reduce it down to 50%, which would make a little bit more sense than 70, which I actually might do. I'm going to change that to 50% now because that's a spiral Delphi, not an unspiraled one. So yeah, those are both of my ELISANNEs that I would like to see in the game. I want to see the Dragon Yule one more because Shadow Staffs. It's been a year and a half since we have had a new Shadow Staff. So this one would make a little bit more sense. Plus, it's the last color that ELISANNE is actually missing for her wheel because we have Fire with Kimono. We have 2 Waters. We have Lance and Gala. We have a Wind Sword with Wedding. And we have Halloween ELISANNE, which is a Light Lance. You can tell that I really, really ignored Lance for both of these because that would be her 4th Lance. Because Kimono, Normal, and Halloween are all Lances. That is 3 Lances. She doesn't need a 4th. She does not need a 4th. Please, she does not need a 4th. Yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. It's pretty short, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 13 minutes. Okay. I even went back and gave Matt some extra footage just in case I went over because it was gonna take a little bit longer. I'm actually glad I was able to get it a little bit higher because I was kind of worried it'd be a really short video. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you all did enjoy. If you guys want to see these units in the game, let me know down in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit like. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and turn on notifications to stay up to date with everything I post. Without further ado, I will see you all in the next one. Peace.
Commencing trickery. Trick 00, Ghost Fate.
I can keep going thanks to you.
Trick 99, Clockwork. Trick 00, Ghost Fate.
Not until I fulfilled my promise. The enemy's getting weaker.
Trick 99, Clockwork. Trick 00, Ghost Fate.
I shall be as a true secret maiden.
Repair complete. Crank Protocol's nominal.
Mischief Maker!
Trick 00. Ghost Fade.
This trick is just for you!
Trick 99 is ready for mischief.
The world